Good morning. Good morning, Joy-Nostalg. And it's nice to be back. Thank you very much, Jello, for your warm and generous introduction. As you said, I'm no stranger. I think this is my third time to come back. In
Correct.
April, we talked about financial wellness. And then in May, we talked about integrity. All right. And today, I thank you for inviting me again to share some insights about unity. Now, just a word about unity, before I go into my sharing of my screen. Unity and oneness are two different words, but they're actually synonymous. But for purposes of this talk, I will be using them alternately. Later on, I will explain why oneness is also a good term to use. So again, good morning. And our talk for today, our very short talk, I only have 7 slides, is titled Self-Mastery as Key to Oneness. And again, your core value of unity and oneness are synonymous. Unity and oneness pertain to that state of a group or a society or a community that is not necessarily all alike, but they work together under a shared vision, shared mission, same corporate values, and they do their best to transcend any differences in order to best achieve a common goal. So I like to believe that Joy-Nostalg espouses unity or oneness. You don't all have to be the same, of the same background, or you don't even have to have the same likes and dislikes, but for as long as you share a common objective and are willing to go beyond yourselves in order to achieve that shared purpose, you are united, you are one. So unity or oneness must be practiced at all levels of the organization. Your founder, your owner, your CEO drives that by declaring the sense of purpose or the reason for being of the company. And he also outlines your vision, your mission, which you must all live by. However, the CEO can drive unity or initiate it through the shared objectives, but it is incumbent on all levels of the organization, from the top management to the middle management to the newest and most junior employees, and even your contractuals or probationaries, to really live it. Now, Jello, I don't know if they can participate, no, if they can in the chat box, but I'd like to ask, even to get just a few answers, maybe even just 3, 4 answers. As a member of the JN organization, how do you think you can live or practice unity in your work? You can type a few answers in your chat box if there are any brave souls. Will I be able to see that? I cannot see the chat box. You can just read if there are responses.
Sure, ma'am.
As an employee of the organization, how do you think you can practice unity or oneness among your co-workers?
Okay, someone said focusing and doing that one same goal.
Okay. Anything else? Well, it's okay. I'm sure they're doing it. But yeah, if you focus on one goal, you are united. Okay. How about if you work together despite differences in opinion? That's also acting out unity, right? How about working with someone that you don't particularly like, but you try your best to work with him and gather their opinion because you know it might help your project. You might not necessarily like the person. He might not even also like you, but you have to work together. So these are the ways by which we really put unity in practice. Okay? So again, your CEO can drive unity through the shared vision, mission, but really the embodiment of unity must be seen consistently across all levels of the organization. Remember, the whole must be greater than the sum of its parts. The way you function as a collective, the result of your collective effort must be greater compared to if you just added up everybody's individual effort. And this principle of the whole being greater than the sum of its parts is achieved only through unity or oneness. If you are not one, nag-aaway-away kayo, which I see in a lot of companies, you know, you cannot achieve your objective effectively, efficiently, or even productively because you are not aligned. So anyway, that being said, I always like to say that oneness or the value of unity, when it is practiced consistently by every member of the organization from top to bottom, it's really one of the best gifts employees can give to the company. The results of having a unified workforce are many, but among them are, number one, things get done faster. Number two, the work environment is lighter, mas magaan, because there's no discord or conflict. And if you remember some of my talks of last April and May, I would also share that energy means a lot in any home or office or society. And nakakabigat if there are people who are acting in a way that destroys or decreases the unity or oneness in an organization, either through petty quarrels or immature gossiping. You know, these are things that seem to be like human nature, and it seems that it's a fixture in every company, but I'd like to tell you in Joy-Nostalg, it does not have to be like that. You can go to work every day under a light environment. You don't have to. You don't have to gossip about people. You don't have to backbite. You don't have to feel bad about your boss. And as a boss, you don't have to badmouth your subordinates. No, because again, I see this done in some corporations, and they think it's normal. Well, just because it's commonplace doesn't mean that you have to do it. As Joy-Nostalg, with your value system very intact, and with your HR taking pains to really instill the values in each of you, you can be better than the normal company. Okay, so again, unity or oneness, working as one, being able to transcend your differences, etc., in order to really just work together for the good of the company is really one of the best gifts you can give to your management, your shareholders, and even to your boss. Okay, it is not productive to be petty or to be divided. It's always a better option to work as one. So, are you ready to give your company that gift? Now, as I said, you have the capacity to give your company that gift, no? That that gift of oneness. Your collective gift to your company would be the way you work as one. However, before we can be one with others and practice unity, we have to first be one with ourselves. We cannot give what we do not have. So we cannot be expected to act united, act aligned, and act as one with others if within ourselves we're already encountering so many internal conflicts. Now, I'm tempted to ask you in the chat box, but I will not, because I want you to think about it for yourself. No, think of internal conflicts within yourselves. Yung magulo inside you, any doubts, any instances that make you doubt yourself, for instance, you're in conflict with yourself. When you think you cannot do something, you're afraid to go out of your comfort zone, you're also in conflict with yourself. When you're doing something that you know is not a job that maximizes your true skills and talents, in a way that's also being in conflict with your true nature or yourself. So you have internal conflict. So within you, there is some sort of division. Therefore, I cannot really expect someone with a lot of internal turmoil or conflict inside to be able to readily give that gift of unity with others. So what's the point of this part of the talk? First, you have to find peace within yourself. We will go back to our talk last May on integrity. We really have to be in line with our true nature, be faithful to our higher purpose. We have to be healed on all levels, physically, emotionally, relationship-wise, mentally, even financially, and especially spiritually. Okay, so if we are whole, physically, emotionally, etc., then it's more likely that we will have that inner peace and mitigate or minimize our internal conflicts with ourselves. And therefore, we are more in a position to be one with others because we are already one with ourselves. So again, before we can be one with others, first, we have to be one with ourselves. And that oneness with ourselves, our authenticity, our living our best life, our physical health at its most optimum, our emotional wellness, mental wellness, financial wellness, really improving, getting better every day, every week, every month, every year. And spiritually, you're deepening your connection with the source of life. These all contribute to oneness with self, which we otherwise know as self-mastery. Because once that we are one with ourselves, our physical body, emotional body, mental body, financial body, and spiritual body are all in perfect harmony, and we are close to, if not already living our best life, we have achieved self-mastery. And there are many ways to achieve self-mastery. We don't necessarily get there using the same road. In my case, I got there through the practice of pranic healing or energy healing, which I talked about briefly before. But Pranic Healing, in a nutshell, for those who don't remember, is an energy therapy. It's a spiritual technology whereby we remove diseased energies from our and other people's energy bodies, because we are all beings of energy. We are all connected to each other. And therefore, we really need to regularly cleanse what we absorb from other people. We also need to cleanse thoughts that we generate on our own that are in conflict with our true nature, diba? So nililinis yon, we remove that, and then we replace it with fresh energy. That's how I personally am achieving self-mastery. But you guys can do whatever you wish. For some, it's going, let's say, on regular retreats. Some do that. You can achieve self-mastery by taking quiet time once a year. Some, they go on a vacation. Okay, well, of course, now it's not very doable to go on vacation, but once that you could even go out and enjoy nature, that's contributory to self-mastery, because in nature, in a beach, in a province where there are no high-rise buildings, no pollution, our physical bodies connect to the best of Mother Earth. And that's a way to achieve self-mastery. So there are many ways to achieve self-mastery. So all I'm saying is, before we even start to talk about unity and practice unity with others, let's make sure that we are peaceful within ourselves, we enjoy inner peace, and we are one with ourselves. So heal thyself. We are all connected. Okay, we do not live as individual or compartmentalized bodies of cells, tissues, organs, organ systems. We may have separate physical bodies, but the reality is we are all connected. At a higher level of existence, we are really one. So what am I saying? Is it not that when you hear of a catastrophe or a war in a far-flung place, even if you don't know anybody living there, is it not that somehow you feel affected? When you watch on Facebook or the news that so many people died in some earthquake, devastating earthquake in another continent, you feel something, right? By the same token, whenever the Philippines undergoes a challenge, our political upheaval, our environmental disasters, these are also felt by people regardless of where they are geographically. On a smaller scale, is it not also true that sometimes when you walk into a room, in your office, for instance, and then you feel something's a bit off? Yun pala, one of your colleagues is already battling cancer. You feel that in your own family. Those who are married, without your spouse saying anything, you feel their pain, right? So we feel the pains, the sufferings of everyone, regardless of where they are. And we also feel their joy, we feel their success, we feel their triumph, and they feel ours. So what am I saying? Another way to promote unity in the company is to do something for yourself that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel light. Because since we're all connected, when we do something that feels light, when we do service, when we do something good, when we uplift a colleague who's sort of depressed, that gesture of ours is not confined to us alone. It permeates beyond us. And through the ripple effect, it affects the rest of our family, office, and so on, till it affects an entire nation, an entire continent, and an entire humanity. You know, if everyone in the world would just take time to do something good or to think something good about themselves or other people or to do any little act of service. If every person in the world would only do that on a daily basis, eventually, I'm telling you, wars would stop. And even all this dirty politicking would also stop. In the Philippines, we would probably finally elect the leader that we deserve if we only go beyond all this discord and this infighting among us. So another way nga to promote unity is to do something light and to do something good. Why? Why is it connected to unity? Because when we do something good, we are reuniting or uniting with our true nature, which is we are the image and likeness of God. God is good. God does good things. God is a being of love. So when we do that, we connect with our true nature. We are united with our true nature, and that spreads through the ripple effect across the world. Now, a practical application of what I'm saying um, in, uh, in the company is through communication. Okay? I mean, it's nice to listen to all that I said about our actions as individuals affecting the world, or healing ourselves in order to achieve self-mastery. But in the immediate term, what I'd like to impart this morning is the importance of healthy communication as a tool towards unity or oneness in the workplace. Remember that in an organization, we always have to talk to each other, write to each other. Let's be careful with the words that we use, either verbally or in writing, because words have immense power. You can heal and you can hurt. Now, what we'd like to happen is that the words that we use do not hurt. Okay, so let's be careful with the words that we use. Unity or oneness in the Joy-Nostalg group would probably be best embodied in the way you conduct difficult conversations, the way you give feedback to somebody if you're a boss, the way you receive feedback if you are a colleague or a subordinate of the boss. Unity, it's very nice to talk of unity and oneness during good times, diba? When you have a shared victory, oh, you're also all of a sudden so united. But the real test is under the difficult circumstances, and this is where I would like you to be conscious that unity or oneness is tested most when you need to make or have a difficult conversation. It is during those awkward moments when you will really draw on everything that you know about self-mastery and being one and being faithful to your shared mission. It's really during those difficult conversations. So as a boss, okay, if you are coming from a place of inner peace, self-mastery, you would be hopefully more in a way that would honestly help the person and not hurt if you are a boss. Okay, it's very easy to lose your temper, right? And to really tear apart somebody, especially if that somebody is really already getting on your nerves. But to really practice unity, you try to allow yourself to be in the shoes of the other person. And that is how you can practice authentic and loving feedback to the person and really be at a higher level of unity. Because your hurtful words while they might achieve your objective in the short term because the person will be fearful of making a mistake next time, in the long run, you had already planted the seed of discontent, low morale. So let's not do that. Now, as a subordinate, of course, we are in a way all subordinates to someone, right? No matter how high we are in the organization, we still have a boss. Even your president has a boss who is his board of directors. So as subordinates, okay, we should also use everything we know from our self-mastery arsenal to also receive feedback coming from the point of view of the person receiving feedback. We do not put up a defense and automatically resent that person for giving us feedback that we don't like to hear. Or you might have biases na, oh, pinag-iinitan na naman ako, the other person is doing it, but ako lang napapagalitan, di ba? Don't think that way. What I suggest, again, drawing on your self-mastery, is whenever you are given feedback, tell yourself, what can I learn from this? Never mind how the feedback is given to you. For instance, your boss did not listen to me this morning. So pag nagbigay siya ng feedback, medyo masakit, no? But you listened to me, right? So when you listen to your boss who is dispensing feedback, never mind how it was dispensed. Try to extract the message and the learning. What can I learn from this? How can I be a better person? For all you know, kasama sa learnings ninyo yung, I should not give feedback like that. Maski na yun lang di ba? You might even learn. Now, this is not the way to receive feedback. When I become at that level in the organization, I'm not going to give feedback that way because it hurts me. I'm going to be more diplomatic, kinder, etc. So always look at what you can learn from the feedback and act on it. Okay, so again, if you're giving the feedback, whether you're giving the feedback or receiving the feedback, use your self-mastery techniques. Take a deep breath, because words have power. Take a deep breath before you give the feedback. Ask yourself, how do I want to receive this feedback? Okay, and then when you're receiving the feedback, you also take a deep breath, regardless of how the feedback is given to you. You say, what can I learn from this? What lessons can I derive from this feedback? If you practice this, because I know in a big corporation like yours, feedback is daily fare, diba? Whether it's on performance, on punctuality, on attitude, anything, diba? It's daily fare. So practice that, and if you practice that, you will come closer to achieving a high level of unity or oneness in your organization. Okay? So now, before we close, I'd like to, if it's okay lang, Jello, remember I said that we have to have inner peace and oneness within before we can give that gift, no, to others and to our company. So for those who would like to learn an additional tool of achieving inner peace, let me walk you through one of my favorite tools in Pranic Healing, which is the forgiveness ritual. So a short word on forgiveness. Forgiveness is something that we all need in our lives. There is nobody in the entire world who does not need to forgive or ask for forgiveness. Okay? If there is somebody here who does not need to forgive anyone or to ask for forgiveness from anyone, or who never had to forgive or never had to ask for forgiveness in anyone, please type in the chat box. I would love to meet you because I never met anybody yet like that. Okay, because we have all been offended and we have all offended someone. So why is forgiveness so important? It's because forgiveness actually facilitates healing, inner healing. Do you know that in my pranic healing practice, a lot of my patients with cancer actually are holding hurts or grudges against someone close to them. The common emotional denominator among all my cancer patients is unforgiveness. And when we walk them through the forgiveness ritual and repeat it, they start to respond better to their chemotherapy, or the side effects of the chemo are reduced. And in 5 of the cases I handled, the tumor actually turned benign or it dissolved simply by forgiving. Forgiveness of self and others is the best gift you can give yourself because it liberates you. You set yourself free from all these negative emotions that you're depositing inside your emotional body, which can physicalize in your organs in the form of cysts, stones, or tumors. So forgiveness, if done repeatedly and regularly and sincerely, is the key to healing. So since you're in the office and all of you are office mates, let's try a mini forgiveness ritual. Think of someone that you're really, really irritated with in your office right now. And then close your eyes. Everybody, close your eyes. Sit straight. Put your hands on your lap or on your heart like this in prayer position. Close your eyes and think of just one person that offended you either yesterday, last week, last month, 10 years ago. Think of someone that really, really, really hurt you in the office or someone who irritates you. Okay? Keep your eyes closed. Take a deep breath. Dear God, thank you for this opportunity for the Joy-Nostalg group to forgive. Thank you for making me your humble channel of their forgiveness and inner peace. Now, I'd like you to imagine that person, still with your eyes closed, imagine that person in front of you and look at that person as a soul. After all, we are all souls. We are all created by the same God. Look at that person with love and peace in your heart and mentally whisper to the person, Namaste. I respect the divinity in you. You are a child of God. I am a child of God. You have hurt me and offended me. But today I forgive you. I forgive you for the pain, inconvenience, and irritation that you had caused or am causing in my life. I choose to set myself free from all the negative emotions of anger, irritation, rejection, disappointment, hurt. I let go of all these negative emotions and I release you with forgiveness, gratitude, and love. We are all children of God. We all make mistakes. Take a deep breath. Enjoy the feeling. And then, to the same person, please also face that person, keep your eyes closed, and then tell the person, Namaste, I respect the divinity in you. I have also hurt you. I also wronged you. I am very sorry. Please accept my apology. I come to you in peace. Thank you for your forgiveness. I am sorry. Now visualize the soul of that person and your soul united through the light of Christ. At the soul level, you are forgiving the person and you are asking forgiveness. And it is a very powerful tool. You are being healed of your inner pain and suffering at this moment as you do this. If there are any growths or cysts in your body, they are starting to respond. Finally, take a deep breath and imagine yourself in front of you. Look at yourself in front of you with love and peace in your heart and say to yourself, Namaste, I am a child of God. I've made a lot of mistakes. I was not always choosing the right thing. I've disappointed myself, but I forgive myself. I forgive myself for every mistake that I made, and I totally accept myself with all my weaknesses because I also have an equal or greater amount of strengths. I totally love, accept, and forgive myself. Amen. Take a deep breath, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So what we did was to forgive a colleague and ourselves at the soul level. Now, you don't have to go to your colleague and text him and say, hi, I forgive you, and do that out of the blue. That's not necessary at this point. Of course, if at one day you feel like having a talk with him or her, that's fine. But for this morning, since we already reached out at the soul level, that's already 90% of the repair of your relationship. So forgiveness, again, is a gift you can give to yourself. You can practice this anytime, as often as you want. And it is one of the powerful tools that we can use to promote unity or oneness, even in the workplace. And just a note, forgiveness does not mean that what the person did was correct or excusable. Let's leave that to the law of God's justice. Allow God to be the one to judge whatever the person would need to learn or deserve from whatever the person did to you. But as far as you're concerned, tapos ka na pakawalan mo na siya, and malaya na your soul and your heart from any pain and negative emotions which can only harm yourself. So give yourself the gift of forgiveness so that you can be healthier and happier and more one or united with your co-workers. And again, it is the law of God's justice that will take care of the person. So take care of yourself, forgive the person, forgive yourself, and allow yourself a little bit more self-mastery so that you can be a gift to your colleagues every day that you go to work. So in short, all that I wanted to impart to you this morning is that unity or oneness, it's a very nice value to have. It's a gift that you can give to your employer. It's the best gift we can present to the company. But before we even talk about that, we have to first be one with ourselves. And again, you can achieve self-mastery through many techniques, many ways. Mine is Pranic Healing. Yours might be something different. That's okay. And the forgiveness ritual is one of the most powerful tools, and it's also highly confidential. Nobody has to know about it. It's a very nice tool that will allow you to be one, both with yourself and with others. So that's all for this morning. Thank you and have a blessed day. And enjoy your oneness with others and yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Rachel, for your very timely talk. That forgiveness ritual in the end really helped me a lot. You're right there. All of us have someone to forgive, and all of us have someone to ask forgiveness from. And I can be very honest that when I joined that exercise, that ritual, I really saw faces as I closed my eyes. People I may have wronged, because I can be outspoken, and people who have sort of hurt me, even unintentionally. So thank you, ma'am, and that gave me peace, and somewhat it helped loosen up the feeling I had, this minor headache this morning. So thank you for that, ma'am.
Your headache's improving?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Yung pala sa
Thank you.
so, so thank you, Miss Rachel. And also, one thing that struck me was that you cannot give what you don't have. No.
Yeah.
Without peace to people, we must make sure that we too have inner peace. And once we
Definitely.
give this peace to people, it creates this ripple or domino effect. You do one act of kindness to someone, this person feels good, inspired. More likely than not, he or she will pass this energy, this aura, the
Correct.
one.
Yes.
Diba? Especially in a time where we work different settings, no? The interaction we have can be just through our chat, our email, our phone calls. When words matter, we need to make sure that the way we deliver our messages are not condescending. The way we deliver our messages are are helpful and life giving.
Yes.
So those are
Yeah.
the things that really impacted me from your talk, Miss Rachel, and thank you for giving me this reminder.
Thank you too.
So, Miss Rachel, we have two panelists this morning. So, our first is Miss Alex Enatorio. She is an organization management officer from the resource management unit. So, she's also HR. So, good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Miss Rachel. Good morning, Jello. Good morning, JNG. Thank you so much, Miss Rachel, for your talk. Definitely, we've learned a lot from you. What struck me the most is the part where we cannot give what we don't have, like what Jello said. Then, we have to have the inner peace and unity within ourselves before giving it to others. Kasi it helps a lot na sa sarili mo pa lang meron ka ng unity. Hindi nagtatalo yung mind mo and yung heart mo.
Correct.
Uh,
Yeah.
So, yun yung pinaka na-remember ko dun sa talk ninyo, Miss Rachel. And our topic is self-mastery. Yung na-note ko din is self-mastery to achieve oneness by little act of service to others. So, it gives us parang help, yung sa mind natin na pag nakatulong tayo, parang blessing with us din yun, kahit little act lang.
Yes.
So, because of the pandemic, yung gusto natin sa lahat ng people is to be vaccinated. Yun yung goal din ng JNG. Na we have, ang goal natin is to achieve the herd immunity. So, yung little act of encouraging the whole JNG to be vaccinated kasi para safe tayong lahat. And si Sir JC and we gave us the opportunity to be vaccinated kasi meron tayong program with JNG. So, little little act of service to others na din yon. Another thing is yung pinoint out ni Ms. Rachel about the feedback na binibigay ng others to us sa mga ginagawa natin. We have to embrace every feedback that we receive. It might hurt you. Sandali lang naman yun siguro. But it will definitely help you to realize that the person who give you feedback, na may point siya, it will help you grow and change kung ano man yung dapat i-change. So, yun po. Thank you.
There are only lessons. And those who pick up the lessons move forward and grow faster. Just concentrate on the lesson.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Miss Alex. No, and it's what
Thank you, Alex.
Thank
Miss
you po.
Alex and her team, org management, they work round the clock to run that vaccination program.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
May question lang po ako, Miss Rachel.
Mhm.
Question lang. About dun sa forgiveness, meron po bang certain timeline para makapag-forgive ka? Or pwede mong bigyan yung sarili mo na
Okay.
i-achieve yung forgiveness na yun? Na ibigay sa mga tao.
There are actually 7 levels of forgiveness, but in a nutshell, the highest level is when you can forgive instantly. The beginner's level is when you forgive at your deathbed, bago ka mamatay. Some people are like that. They can only forgive at their deathbed. But a lot of people fall somewhere in the middle. When they're deeply hurt, they forgive after a few years. My problem with that is it only takes a few months for a cancer tumor to grow. So the faster we forgive, the healthier we can be, the more we can prevent ailments.
Okay po.
So how long should you give yourself? If you're a beginner, you do your forgiveness ritual. Don't pressure yourself. Don't give yourself a timeline na by next week I should already have forgiven you. Paulit-ulit lang, and then you just pray to whoever being or God that you have. You pray that you be given the courage, the humility, the guidance to be able to surpass these challenges of forgiving the person, and then it will come. In his time, it will come. And my wish for everyone is that they forgive only in a few days, a few weeks. That's a very high level of forgiveness, but it's also the healthiest. Let's not give time for the disease to physicalize in the body.
Okay po. Thank you, Miss Rachel.
Thank you, Alex. And our next panelist is Miss Ruth Gakusan. She's the Logistics Management Assistant from the CDU.
Hi, Ruth.
Hello po. Good morning. Ayan.
Hi again.
Hello po. What's my take dun sa talk natin ngayon? Gusto ko lang pong magbigay ng the experience ko during the talk. No, sabi ko, oo nga, no, ang dami-daming pwedeng itap na points pagdating sa unity. Pwede kang mag-tap ng individual characteristics mo or attitude mo with relating it to the unity. Parang gusto ko lang pong i-share. So sa self-mastery, it is also recognizing our own weaknesses, our own strengths, different. So different ka sa iba-iba tao, iba-iba rin yung strengths, iba-iba rin po yung weakness. But then, kapag yung mga differences na yun, actually, para sa akin yung differences ay mabuti or good for me. Kasi yung different weaknesses natin, yung different strengths natin, pag pinagsama-sama natin siya, or kapag na-contribute natin siya into one, makakabuo tayo ng something or mapupush pa rin natin or magagawa pa rin natin yung one goal na nakaset para sa atin. Kumbaga, kung ano man yung weakness mo, may be a strength of others. So, magiging one pa rin. So, magbabalance pa rin siya, equating into one. So, magagawa mo pa rin yung unity with the differences.
Definitely.
Yun po yung natutunan ko dun sa talk na hindi natin kailangan pag-away-awayin yung weaknesses at saka yung strengths natin. We can be better na pagsamasamahin yun and then do the same goal or gawin natin yung same goal na meron tayong differences. So, yun po yung isa sa mga natutunan ko within this talk.
Unity in
Yes.
diversity, di ba? Unity
Yun po,
in
yun
diversity.
po. Opo. And then, ayun nga po. And, yun yung, with that unity, makakapag-provide ka ng output na hinihingi sa inyo. Na
Yes.
kung as a group kayo, may hinihingi sa inyong goal, with that weaknesses and strengths na pinagsama-sama ninyo, maa-achieve mo siya. So, yun po.
Mas
Ayun yung-
mabilis, mas magaan, mas mabilis, right?
Yes po, yes. Yun yung isa na natutunan ko. Mas mabilis, mas magaan, tsaka sama-sama kayo. Kumbaga, para-parehas yung na-achieve, yung one goal, parang para-parehas na magaan sa pakiramdam, masaya sa pakiramdam na nagawa ninyo lahat.
Correct.
As a
Yeah.
one. Yun po. And thank you so much po for another enlightenment pagdating sa unity.
Thank you so much, Luz. I read a comment in the chat box, Jello, from Edgardo. It's very insightful, no? And that's true. When you do not forgive, it is like drinking poison. You're drinking poison and you expect the other person to die. That's what unforgiveness does to us. We only poison ourselves with negative emotions. Pero galit na galit tayo dun sa isang tao.
Correct.
So you're poisoning yourself with all those negative emotions and you expect the other person to react to it? No, they're not. They're probably perfectly fine with themselves. They're probably sleeping early and sleeping well at night.
Agree.
Diba? So importante, forgive. Just forgive. Never mind what the person did. Just leave that to God, no?
Correct.
Nobody escapes the law of God's justice anyway, diba? As far as you're concerned, you already elevated yourself and freed yourself from that poison.
I completely agree. No, when you withhold forgiveness from someone, it's like you're torturing yourself, diba? You're
and the other person, okay lang siya. Baka, diba?
Baka nga di
You cannot hold on to unforgiveness. It will only hurt you.
That's correct.
It can even kill you.
Kaya a while ago, when we did the exercise, I mentioned I felt a bit lighter in a way.
Yeah.
I completely agree. And thank you, Sir Ed, for that wonderful insight. As always, Sir Ed, thank you.
Yes.
So,
yes. Thank you, Ed.
So, Ms. Ray, once again, when I reached out to you a few weeks back about this talk, and we talked a few days back, I did not imagine that the content of this talk will be this deep and helpful. I reached out to you about, Ms. Rachel, paano ba kaya i-link ang communication sa openness and unity? Diba?
Ang sagot ko sa'yo noon, hindi ko alam.
But
it just flows, eh. It just flows.
Correct. But somehow, how you carry yourself, how you take care of yourself, how you approach people around you, diba?
Yeah.
Impact people's wellness. And thank you for giving us this reminder, this wonderful talk. And I'm good it's recorded. And I will recommend this to our colleagues who are not here this morning. So once, Rachel, thank you so much for being with us in Wellness Wednesday. It's always a treat to have you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And my belated thanks pala to the people who referred me to you, Mr. Dennis Tan and Miss Joy Francisco, my batchmates in college. I wouldn't have gotten to know you, Jello, or your company, your corporation, if not for those two beautiful souls.
Yes.
So, hi, Dennis. Hi, Joy, if you're both here. And thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be of service.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rachel.
Thank you.
We could have you soon again, once again, soon.
Sure. Yeah.
So for our panelists, that brings an end to Wellness Wednesday, and I wish you all a safe and healthy and happy and energetic week ahead. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you
God
po.
bless you.
God bless you.
Bye.